wearing a PlayStation hat, Teresa?
If I had a Nintendo, if I had
you're
a
not
Nintendo,
welcome. You're not welcome.
Oh, fine. I'm Sean. If I had a Nintendo hat, I'd wear it today. So I guess if nothing else, that would lead into today's
topic. Did anyone actually? Oh, sorry. You guys actually watch Direct? I just read it because I'm too lazy to watch. I can read faster than I can watch, so I just
So what is it that we're going to be talking about today, Jimmy? I'm going to introduce what's it?
Okay, you know what Nintendo Direct is, right?
I actually don't know.
You should ask before when I talk about
that's
the subject.
that's okay. But why don't you explain what Nintendo Direct is?
Nintendo Direct is when Nintendo announces a lot of use in one dumping news. So for 2 hours, they actually was it 1 hour? I don't know. Well, they released every
50 minutes
this year. So they gave a lot of use what came out this year. It's coming out. And so Mario Kart's getting 48 new stages. Xenoblade 3's been confirmed. Earthbound 1 and 2 is coming on Switch Online. Let's see. Fire Emblem Warriors coming out. Mario Strikers coming out on Wii. Okay, I'm just gonna. There's so much that was announced today. Oh yeah. Also, another random interesting news. Futurama is coming back.
What? Futurama
I heard that too in unrelated, not Nintendo news. Futurama is coming back.
Related, but yeah, so today was a relatively good use day because of Nintendo. But yeah, Mario Kart's getting 48 stages. Okay, that's a lot of content.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Chrono Cross is, if you know that game.
One of my favorite games is Chrono Trigger. So yes. I sort of know what Chrono Cross is, but that's getting
it's
remastered.
It's getting a remaster for the Switch. So you should be excited about that. Let me just make sure what else.
Have you excited for that, Takashi? If you're a fan of Chrono, he likes Chrono Trigger. So maybe he.
Yeah, I have on DS. I need to play it. I'm gonna play it eventually, but
you should. The music, I love the music. No.
Yeah, it's time traveling.
Yes.
They say Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Fire Emblem Warriors, Free Herb features characters from this. So Mario Strikers is Mario Soccer is coming out.
Nintendo Switch Sport.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Switch Sports. Yeah, it's a new game for Wii Sports. And Triangle Strategy will get a free demo. That'll come game out for next month. And Front Mission, never played that, but that's on a PlayStation 1 game, getting remakes on the Switch. Splatoon 3, How You Trailer, it showed the new Solomon run that came out. And Metroid Dread's getting extra Dread mode and Rookie mode. And Kirby showed, like, the Kirby game that's coming out next month shows that Kirby can turn into a car and a vending machine. And I don't talk about Advance was coming out in April. And let's see, and Live Alive will come west for the first time in 2022, getting a slight Octopath remake. And Portal 1 and 2 will be on Switch. You guys play Portal 1 or 2?
Oh, yes. Portal 2 is my favorite game, favorite game. I love that game.
Yeah, now you can play on the Switch.
Sweet.
And yeah, MLB, The Force Unleashed is coming out. Also, Disney's trying to make their own Mario Kart called Disney Speedstorm Racing. So yeah, that might be interesting. And No More Skies is coming to Switch. Oh yeah, I know Koala Door to Phantom Mill and Koala 2. Okay, KLONOA. Also a PlayStation game, and I actually cried at the ending, but I was a kid back then, but it was one of the first games that made me cry, the ending. It wouldn't make me cry today, but yeah, back then it was kind of sad. And Tikko no Toshi Riven Festival Drums coming to Switch. Cuphead's getting the DLC in June. Assassin's Creed Collection comes to the Switch next week. Kingdom Hearts on Cloud comes tomorrow. Stop the Breaks in SD Gundam. I don't know that game. Semi games. Undying Moon. I can't pronounce that at all.
You want a big water to help you read all the name game?
Yeah, Lego Brawl as well, and Demon Slayer, and 2 Point Campus, and Zombie Army 4. And yeah, that's about all the games that was announced today.
So yeah. Oh, that's exciting. So is it just how does this work? Is it just today that they announce everything, or is this going to be like for a week or something?
Today. It was just today.
It's just today. Okay.
Sometimes they do it suddenly. Sometimes you get events notice about this. It's like E3 gaming back in the day. E3.
I know what E3. Yes.
Yeah. It's so what happened to E3.
So E3 it's not happening. Is it dead? Is it like nothing?
I don't know. Well, now it's digital, either digital only or like they do their own thing now. But yeah, it's no longer in person, and they realize even without coronavirus, it's starting to die down anyway.
Oh, that's a shame. But yeah,
Yeah.
but going back to Nintendo, it's pretty exciting. So you guys, well, do you guys have a favorite Nintendo game, and what are you looking forward to with all these announcements?
Well,
Well,
Advance Wars. Advance Wars was my childhood. Does anyone know about Advance Wars?
Yes, I played that game. I played that game. I like it.
Okay, I challenge you to duel when it comes out. It's war now, Andrew. You declare war by accepting.
It's Morphin time.
Wrong series, Andrew. But yeah, look, I said hype is a balanced thing. I think because we did talk about Nintendo before, so we're just not to do that. But talk about hype for any upcoming games. Nintendo tends to know how to hype games even when they give very little information. We can also talk about trailers as well. Like they know how to balance the thing about not showing too much, but just enough to get you excited.
Okay. Then.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I said, this artwork is so beautiful as well from Breath of the Wild. Like you guys play Breath of the Wild?
I've heard of it. This is oh yes. Actually, the only Zelda game was Link's Awakening because I played that on Game Boy. Actually.
Oh yeah, and that got a remake on Switch.
Yeah, I heard. That's one of my favorite because of the new music scheme. That was a lot of fun.
I think the best one for me, the best Zelda one will be Twilight Princess because I love that. Twilight Princess is more. It's the best thing than Breath of the Wild. So I like that game.
Okay, you have to give reasons why you think it's better. When you just say it's the best game because it's better than Breath of the Wild, like what? Like at least you say you like the wolf theme or the story better or the art design. At least you'd be a bit more specific here.
It's a more Weavermark because it's easy.
Okay.
What was that? It was he said it was
Weavermark.
Weavermark motion
controls.
Oh,
I see. Okay.
But that was just just to replicate a button. Besides, I got for GameCube, like the Bell on GameCube, because Link was left-handed. And also, but Skyward Sword also used the Wii remote as a sword as well in a more accurate fashion.
Accurate fashion.
Accurate. So yes, you go up and down. It feels like you're actually going up and down. So like, it's like hit and stuff, and you go around. It goes around.
That's the like, I don't know what to call him. Skywing sword.
Skyward Sword. I said Skyward Sword. Do you listen, or do you just pretend you listen?
No, I didn't pronounce it right, Mr. Jimmy.
I pronounced it right. I said it the first time it was Skyward Sword that had better motion controls. And like I said, we talked about the past Nintendo Directs, and the one thing I definitely miss is when Iwata was around to do them. You guys know who Iwata is, right?
I think he was one of the directors of Nintendo, wasn't he? He would always
CEOs, yes.
Wow.
CEOs.
Is he still CEO or has he stepped down?
He died. He passed away a few years ago. The Switch was his last project he was working on.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, obviously that would be a good reason why he's not doing that anymore.
Yeah, but he actually brought Nintendo back, like recover for it when he was dying around the GameCube era. Like, he helped bring it back.
Wow.
As I said, because the previous Nintendo thing, he's the one that actually made Nintendo gaming, and he worked in the 90s, but he was a bit rigid and a bit old-fashioned. And he actually annoyed Square Enix. Or Squaresoft at the time. You know what he did? He said that RPG games are not real games.
Isn't that the Super Mario RPG? That's the one.
Yes, that's why. Of course, because the director said that was not a real game, and that really annoyed Squaresoft, and that's why Squaresoft did not make a game for Nintendo for a while till GameCube, which was when Iwata rebuilt the bridge the original Nintendo person burnt. That's why they went to PlayStation, and Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 went on PlayStation. One of the reasons. And also because, and then Nintendo did their own Paper Mario series. So that's what happened. Because, the original Nintendo head, Iwata actually rebuilt the bridge. Also, he was responsible for why in Pokemon Gold and Silver, you get Kanto. He programmed it in himself when he thought like the original Gold and Silver, the first 8 badges was too short. So he just programmed Kanto. That is impressive. Because he was one of the people that's good at programming and CEO and talking. 3 good skills, rare. Like the person who created Mario, he's good at talking and programming. He can do business, but he doesn't like doing it. Iwata could do all 3 and enjoyed it. And another thing that he did when the 3DS started to fail a bit and they had to do a price drop, he gave up his salary so that he could not fire any workers.
My
So
goodness.
he was getting paid $50 million a year. He just like dropped most of the money from his $1 million to make sure his employees stay employed, to cut, because he had to do a price drop for the 3DS.
Oh my god, what the hell's going on? It's just like, what the hell's going on between Nintendo and Sony?
Okay. Yeah, you pay attention to the first 20%, yes. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Like Nintendo, the original Nintendo creator messed with Sony. That's what caused the PlayStation 1. Because originally Sony was going to make a console with Nintendo to make a CD console for Nintendo, but then he just said, "Nah, we changed our mind." And then so he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll make our own console by ourselves then." And that's
fuck you, Sony. We make your own.
Language, Andrew. I'm too young for that. But yeah, look, the original Nintendo head, he didn't have a good childhood because he had to take over his company when he was 8 because his dad passed away, so his grandparents kind of made him work early. And he changed Nintendo to make it kid friendly because he wants kids to have the childhood he never had. That's why it was overly child friendly though. So games that like Mortal Kombat will be censored on Nintendo.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, what? I heard about this in America because like this parent, the 90s parent, always complained about the too violent for kids. It's the same with the movie, the 90s one. Same movie, 90s.
They have a heart attack if they were back in time today.
Yeah.
Games have violent against them today. Because remember, Doom used to be pushing the boundaries. That used to be.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I said every Nintendo Direct, like Iwata used to have his own avatar. He also had Iwata Talk where he talks about some progress of games, how they were made. It was always interesting, and yeah, he was a passionate person. But yeah, he had a disease that he had to get surgery for, and the last one he went for, he failed. That's what caused his death. So yeah, it was an ongoing condition.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so yeah. And basically, yeah, a lot of people miss him. But yeah, the Switch was his last project he was working on. And there was 2 CEOs since him. One that was more like a caretaker CEO, like just making sure the work that Iwata did was, finished. And the new CEO is now, well, I forgot who he is. I should check out if he talks so much. But so far, so good for what he's doing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it said like hyping games instead like marketing. Because if you know one thing with Nintendo, they don't release trailers for the games until it's nearly complete, so that you know the game's finished. The only time they don't do that is for Zelda. Legend of Zelda, they review it way too early, and then it gets delayed, and fans get angry. But
I think the worst problem is the called Metroid Prime 4. They released a trailer, but the problem is, where's the game? What happened? But I find out, when I look at on this company, it was they left the employee for the company called Retro Studio. They left the company and they're looking for that. Well, I mean, they left it. They're looking for an employee can make a good game for Metroid Prime 4.
Okay, I think you need to remember your history. Retro Studios were the original Metroid Prime creators because Shiki and Iwata got them to do that. It actually has a long trouble developing the first Metroid because the original creator of the Retro Studios, the original head, actually embezzled money from Nintendo. And then he eventually got kicked out, obviously. But then, because the other staff was actually trying to make a game, and then Nintendo took over, like, oh, you have potential. We won't, kick you guys out because you look like you guys were actually trying to make a project. So then they just decided to focus on one project, which is Metroid. And that ended up being successful. So they ended up making 3 more Metroids and then Donkey Kong. And they've been working on a secret project. And then, but for Metroid Prime 4, it was actually originally made with Namco Bandai, who they have like mixed collaboration with mixed results. But apparently behind the scenes, the product that was shown was not to Nintendo's satisfaction. So they ended collaboration with Namco and now bringing back Retro to make the game. So they started from scratch around 2 years ago, just right before COVID. So we don't know exactly what progress they're making, but even before the trailer was just, they didn't actually show any trailers at all. They just said it's in development. So yeah, they just announced that just to give Metroid fans hope. But then Metroid Dread came out like last year with less than 3 months before it came out. They revealed it. And does anyone about anything about Metroid, Therese?
Is that the one with Seamus? Or is that
Yes.
I've heard of the first one.
Yes, and what's famous for, right?
Yeah, the fact that she was the girl, one of the first.
Yeah, but you didn't know that till you actually finished the game.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which is actually a good tribute to Alien, because it's actually based on Alien.
That makes sense. Definitely you can see the resemblance with the suit and the thing that
not
she
to mention
wore.
the enemies, Riley. You just take Adam Page, Ripley. Yeah, Ripley Scott.
Yeah. Nice. So
and
they're
then
making
also like what?
So they're making a new game, number 4th one, or is it?
Metroid Prime 4. The Prime series is the first-person adventure games where you see it's 3D and you can see from first-person view.
Oh, okay.
First-person view, but it's a limited ammo. Well, a limited a laser.
They have in all Metroid games you have unlimited beam gun and like the normal gun, but missiles and super bombs you have limited amounts. Although you can get a lot of them the more you power up, you progress through the game. So Metroid led to Metroid series called Metroidvania, where you can explore game in a linear way, and there's ways that you can speed run. Some games are more like one way to end. Metroid Dread actually took speed running to account, and you can actually do things out of order, and it affects the cutscenes. I haven't actually finished it yet because my Switch is a bit busted right now, so I can't move properly.
I never played that game. I never played Metroid Dread, but doesn't look interesting for me. Doesn't look interesting for me.
Did you? You are so shallow. Have you heard the saying, do not judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a game by its graphics.
No, I'm not a fan of that game. I'm not a fan of that game.
You haven't tried it, okay? And you said you're a Nintendo fan. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of Mario. That's the thing. I'm a huge fan of Mario. That's why
Metroid Samus will beat Mario in a fight. In fact, I challenge you in Super Smash Bros. I'll use Samus, use Mario. Let's see who wins.
So here's the thing. So Samus will take up the and make Mario make a heart attack because Samus turns very sexy.
You're really perverted for someone who's a father. But it's still helping my point. You don't make your point any stronger that Samus would beat Mario. And I like Mario, but Samus is lore-wise is more powerful. Unless Mario gets a star for everything, but that makes him more indestructible. But Samus, does a lot of things. He beats Stuart and stuff. And anyway, I said Nintendo Directs. Anyway, so that's the point. Like I said. Like, I don't know, like, compared to the Xbox, I'm just trying to remember what their directs are like. They actually had some good ones, but I remember when Xbox One came out, they really messed the marketing for that.
And they buy big one. Holy shit. They buy the big company one.
Oh, yeah, you heard this sale of Therese about Microsoft buying Activision.
And Blizzard.
Yeah, that's because Activision bought Blizzard.
And then I think, it hasn't been doing so well from what I heard on Blizzard, or at least there's been a little drama with the 4 years.
I think that's why Activision Blizzard actually agreed to be bought over. So the CEO that caused the problems can be paid off, quit quietly, and Microsoft rebrands it that way.
So now Blizzard is Activision? Is that what happened?
Well, no, Activision bought Blizzard years ago.
Oh, okay. So when you said rebranding, I thought they changed
Activision, they also bought Blizzard at the same time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So this is a big deal, obviously, in terms of content-wise, like potential that. Because Microsoft also bought Bethesda, the ones who make Fallout series, the Fallout series.
And Rare. So Microsoft bought Rare.
So that's why Microsoft may or may not have a chance to turn the console war, around. But The PlayStation 5 is still selling more right now.
Mm.
Of course, the Switch is probably going to still win. Well, the thing is, it depends if you count the Switch as the part of the PS4 war or the PS5 war. It's a bit like in between. That's the thing. But it has officially sold more than the Wii did, the Switch. You know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Believe it or not. Yeah, believe it or not, Nintendo Switch, it's a good best-selling all time. It's still going. It's still going. Including COVID.
Okay, no, it's not the best console ever of all time. That goes
No,
to the
it's a
PlayStation 2.
best-selling. It's best-selling, that game.
No. The PlayStation 2 is the best console, and also the best-selling video game is either one of the Call of Duty games or GTA 5. I can't forget which one's which, but because they sold a lot for one copy, it was on multiple consoles. So I remember they broke the records for one of the best-selling games because there's multiple consoles. Although, but the best-selling Switch game is Mario Kart 8 on the Switch.
Yeah, I play it. It's pretty good. This is one, and I can't wait for DLC.
I beat your body in Mario Kart, by the way. Remember?
Yeah. No. Oh my goodness, you're pretty good.
And I wasn't trying my best because I had a Joy-Con, so I'm not the best controller Joy-Cons. But yeah, okay. So that's the reason why, though, in general, like said Mario Nintendo's going to bring people together with local couch games and stuff. Although they're not the perfect company, they had a lot of mistakes along the way. But the reason why I like them is they try something new. Like the Wii U was a failure, but you feel like they would try something different at least.
Yeah, I heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the Wii U on my sister's house. When I play on Splatoon, the first game, and I felt really awkward to play this. It's like I don't know how you play it, and I feel really awkward.
Did you try to play the tutorial first? Because I get tired, people say this game's too complicated, and they don't play the tutorial. Did you play the tutorial?
It's like it feels funny with this like control. It's like feel funny with big controller. It's like it's really odd.
The Wii U controller, it actually feels odd at first, but it's comfortable. It actually fits really well when you play it. Like I said, the problem is that the controller is like a tab of $300, and that was why the Wii U could never be sold for cheap and it was really expensive to actually just produce. So that's why there's a lot of production issues. Not to mention that the marketing for Wii U was so terrible. Everyone thought it was just the Wii plus a tablet. Not that it was a console that had better graphics.
Yeah, I think at least it's not that really worse, but the much worst Nintendo would be Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy got that really eye-hurting, eye-red game thing. Have you heard Virtual Boy?
Yes, I know about the Virtual Boy. You can't expect Therese to know about the Virtual Boy. Sorry, like seriously, like how, Andrew, do you know what is mainstream knowledge and deep geek knowledge, the difference between those two?
What do you mean? Try to explain it.
Okay. It's like the average person would know that watch the 9 movies, but I would not expect him to watch the Clone Wars TV shows or Star Wars Rebels. And if I were to mention them, I will explain it first.
All right, please explain, Mr. Star Wars guy.
Okay, the Virtual Boy was an experiment between the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance era, where they're trying to ironically do a version of the Switch to try to make a hybrid of a console and portable. But it was actually pretty big, like big as this chair, where you can just like a mini chair. And it was actually designed with 3 colors in mind. The red was one of them. The reason why they did that was to save on battery life. Due to the fact that back in the day, having a game with color would drain the battery quite a fair bit. That's why the Sega Game Gear failed. It had the graphics of the Mega Drive, but buying batteries would last like only 2 hours before it runs out. While with black and white would last like 8 hours or more than that, depending on the battery itself. So the Virtual Boy was the attempt to do a hybrid, but yes, it was clunky and failed. And the best game on the Virtual Boy was Mario Tennis.
That's the game. I thought Mario, like I don't know what they call it, Mario Clash, Mario Brothers in what's it called?
Well, I never played it, okay? It's one of those geek knowledge I read on IGN, okay? I'm not sure how accurate it is. But yeah, it was always released in America only. So the odds of you playing it is probably low.
Oh, I would like to see Virtual Boy bring to Australia. I want to see what it look like.
Okay, what can we share screen? Is this a share screen button?
Share screen. Adventures. Hang on. Let me just let the all participants. Okay, you should be able to do that.
Okay, okay. Okay, so yeah. Sorry, I see. So this was the Virtual Boy. See, look at this. See,
Oh,
red.
wow.
And the console was like this. Then you just play. Yeah. Also, example of Virtual 3D. Try to make games 3D, like so. You actually have to look through that, and this is what you'll see.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think we. So this is why it's like just be like a handheld or a console hybrid. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you play it through the screen. So you like 3D glasses. So yeah,
I see. It was an interesting idea.
Yeah, so like there's also an experiment that failed, but yeah. So I'll stop the share now. Yeah. But yeah, like Sega was the one person. Sega was actually a company that went experimental too much and that overdid it. That's why it failed consistently after Mega Drive. I can actually go on history of Sega because I feel like I just read like 3 YouTube channels and heard about it, but Sega's saying a lie because one person actually who was dying gave the last of his money and his will to Sega to survive. Otherwise, they would be completely bankrupt.
All I remember is the Sega game park thing that I went to once in Darling Harbour, and then they closed because they wasn't making enough money. I heard that they might be bringing it back, but that might be just a rumor.
Maybe the arcade scene would definitely not be available for at least 1 year with COVID. Like, yeah.
No, that's true. But you know, Sega,
I would like to see I like to bring up the Nintendo, Nintendo World in here, like a theme park. I like to see that one. It would be great. I like it.
I'd say like just make a park that you already have, make it Nintendo theme for 1 week. But be honest, we enjoyed it the first time, but we're not going to see it every single day. Maybe once a year.
Yeah.
And only if you change it up.
Just change it up with different characters and stuff, I guess.
Well, Nintendo has enough stuff. It's like Disney will change up. You can just change up who characters are. Nintendo has enough to change in the franchising.
Yeah. And there's a whole space where, you know, Wonderland used to be. So, you know, whoever has the money, why not?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're spending something else.
Probably.
They spent, like I said, like Nintendo is rich because even with the Wii U, they have like at least how many $8 billion in reserve, like just in case they fail. I'm just checking. I'm just Google it quickly. Nintendo reserve.
Elevator music.
Okay, it has 11. Wait, let's see. And cash on hand. $11 million. Okay, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I would maybe 11 billion. I think 11 million is quite low for Nintendo.
Yeah, but I say emergency money. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I think it's because I remember like they could actually survive for 4 years with making $0, and that's for operation costs.
I see.
Okay. In 2014, they had $10 billion. Yeah, 10 billion.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And yeah, so you can actually, you know, survive on operation costs and that. That's why the Wii U are not too concerned, because one of the things I always surprised is how many times the latest says that Nintendo would die. I'm like, they made so much money from the Wii, and then the Wii U failed. I don't think they lost too much because it failed, but they didn't, you know, they did for 2 years, and they still sold something. They didn't sell 0 consoles.
So yeah.
The GameCube said, I remember when like the PSP came out. Do you guys remember the PSP?
I remember.
Oh yeah, yes, yep.
Everyone said that PSP is going to kill the Nintendo DS. Heck, I was actually kind of scared, but then when I saw the pricing of the DS and the PSP, I'm like, yeah, I'll choose the DS, and the battery life made a difference. Because remember, the PSP had close to PlayStation 2 graphics, but it could go to 3 to 5 hours, which is what the Switch can do right now. But the Switch is even better graphics and it charges quicker. But the DS can go up to 16 hours of battery life, up to 16.
16, yeah.
That's
depending on the game.
Yeah.
Depending on the game of the which one to lose the battery life.
Yeah, of course it does depend, but PSP on average was 3 to 5 hours. So depending on the graphic intensity. And of course, like for the Switch though, because the Switch also like the battery life charges faster. You can charge like 1 hour and it lasts longer. And also we have now something called this thing, power drives now. The PSP would not have had that back in the day. This thing has been, power banks have become really good ever since, it's been increasing in popularity since Pokemon Go. Because people just run out of batteries playing Pokemon Go, they need to bring out power packs. Also, this power pack is good, it's solar powered. Oh wait, you can't see it.
Oh yes. Yeah, I can see.
It's solar powered, but it takes 3 hours to charge. But so I have 3 of them and charge 1 per day and then use one another.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Since speaking of Sony like to copy a Nintendo, trying to beat Alton, try to beat a Nintendo that will beat with, which means now Sony will fail and trying to make it like a ripping off like Nintendo Switch. Well, they scratched that.
Okay, I don't think the only thing that I think you got the wrong example. Like the touchscreen, they put that into the PlayStation 4 controller, but they were more copying more like Microsoft Game Pass, where they're doing PlayStation Now and they're trying to do their own gaming service. They were more competitive with Microsoft and Nintendo after during PlayStation 3 era, because Wii was just like, no, you can just be our own thing, and that was actually kind of clever. So you can buy a PlayStation 3 and a Wii, and you can get access to most of the games, or you can have a PC. But Microsoft, depends on what games you like from Microsoft. You like Halo, Gears of War, that was exclusive to that. But because of multi-console games, you can just buy 1 or 2. And Sony is actually doing well because since PlayStation 3 was the only one that was. Well, I'm talking about the gaming industry. I'm not talking about the art industry for Sony because that one is hit and miss. Like Spider-Man 3, of course, is the best success they had for a long time. So yeah, and Spider-Man 2. But yeah, in terms of the gaming industry, PlayStation 3 was the one that was kind of a miss, but they recovered because you saw the original PlayStation 3 controller, right? It was so terrible and it was $1,000. Does it? You remember the PlayStation 3 original controller?
No, the only one I kind of went, had a PlayStation 1, tried the PlayStation 2, then went to the PlayStation 4. So I never really got the chance. Yeah, or you can share it, I guess.
Yep, just that. Yep, so
we'll go 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, let's see. Sorry. Yep. So this was the original PlayStation 3 controller. So
wow.
See this?
Yeah,
that's what I was showing.
That doesn't look that.
Look like a boomerang.
No, it
but they actually changed it due to fan reactions. This is the boomerang controller. And then I think I'll show you what. They just made like the normal controller. The
Therese, you feeling hungry? Because this
this
like
is what the controller ended up being. That's more like similar to PlayStation 2. The main difference is that it has 6 axes. It had slight motion controls, which rarely was ever used. Yeah, so you can see why you can say it was copying the Wii because the Wii went full out motion control was the Wii remote.
Yeah.
And then this is the PlayStation 4 controller. Sorry. Yeah, so this one was a touchpad thing. So that's why. So it felt like it might be copying the Wii U, but the Wii U was actually more like you actually see the screen a lot bigger. Like, the Wii U controller, right?
All right then.
But I understand that. And this is the PlayStation 5 controller, and this one I feel like it's the most original controller out of all of them because it actually feels different. I actually hold it in my hands. It's actually pretty fancy.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's doing well. Although compared to the last console, Xbox One to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 was clearly winning. In this one, PlayStation 5 and Xbox One, it's a bit closer, but PlayStation's still winning. They will be winning more if they actually have a shortage of consoles. In fact, my friend who pre-ordered since December still hasn't got his console yet. He pre-ordered for the next order.
Oh, wow.
December.
It must be a shortage.
Yeah. And this is Australia where less people buy consoles. So yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of change you can do in the future. But I think gaming will last another 5 years. I'm still worried about the gaming crash, but worried about the gaming crash since 2010. So who knows?
Oh, that's an interesting topic. Okay, so why don't we we've got 3 minutes left, so we'll stop here and then we'll do one more session and you can talk about what that is. All right, so
we'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages. Please sponsor us.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. Welcome back.
Welcome
back.
Welcome
All
to
right.
the Nintendo.
Well, yes, Nintendo Direct.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Okay,
Futurama.
You're too freaky.
That's from the first episode of Futurama. You don't remember that?
Wrong one.
Okay, Futurama it got revived today, so it feels like a good time to make a reference to that. Yeah.
So yes, so you're mentioning something about game crunch.
Crash.
What
Crunch is also an issue, but yeah, but they're trying to resolve that. The gaming crash, you heard the first gaming crash of Atari?
Oh yes. I know this one with the game called E.T. is hot. The E.T. game, which is the worst one, and I heard that they dug in. It was a worst game, and they dug into all the game in the desert.
Yes, that is the short version of it. But basically, there's more to it than that. The person who made the game only had 2 weeks to program, and even back then, that was a short time. Because even 2D games take at least 1 or 2 months to make. And yeah, he tried to be ambitious at the same time and try to make it different. Obviously, it failed, and Atari, being overly greedy, made more copies of the games than there were consoles. So they expect to sell people to buy 2 copies of one game or something. I don't know what was their logic, or the game would sell consoles. But no, it didn't, because the game was so glitchy and failed. And yeah, the game was not even playable. And the thing is, that was like the last straw, because there were actually quality control back in the day. And yeah, because the game crashed of that and gaming kind of went down, till Nintendo kind of revived it by putting the seal of quality, which used to mean something. It means that Nintendo themselves have checked the game, it's glitch-free, and that you can actually finish and play the game. Because before then, there was gaming was becoming like ads. They were not actually made for gaming. They were just ads, product placement, just to promote stuff. Like Cool Spot was one of them. There was also a game for McDonald's that was clearly a McDonald's game, just to advertise Ronald McDonald. That was before Nintendo just put still quality. Yes, you can do marketing, but the game at least needs to be playable. And it was really reliable up to the Wii era, because gaming used to be like easy to check. But now that games are in 3D, it's actually possible to check for every single bug. And and not to mention with the power of patches, gaming can do that. The reason why I say there might be a gaming crash though is that I was worried during the PlayStation 3 era, where you make one bad game, like a AAA game, you go bankrupt. Like Factor 5 went bankrupt. The people who made Time Splitters went bankrupt. A lot of companies went bankrupt because they made one bad game that was a bit expensive. Because game development was really expensive during the PlayStation 3 era. Because with the higher the console, it means more power, but it means it also costs more to make the game, which is logical, right? But yeah, I kind of reduced my worry, because during the PlayStation 4 era, they actually cost less to make, because Sony made it like the development kits easier, so it costs less to make. So you can spend more to get better results, but you still get decent results with cheap results. Not to mention Sony helped, and Xbox and Nintendo led to the rise of indie games. So they help indie games, so games that can be made cheap for indie. They sold for cheap, made for cheap by low developers. And yeah, so that means the game can still be made. Like that's why Hades was a small company game, for example. Even Cuphead wasn't made by too many people. So that's the rise of indie development games. So that stopped the crash for a while. But there's other concerns of the crash, obviously, like mobile gaming, because mobile gaming is now substituting, normal gaming, and that could, cause sales to go down on that. Or the fact that it's way too many games to play at once. That's another reason why I'm worried about a crash, is that too many games are coming out and a person can play so many games at once before the sales go down. After all, like I have over 100 games on my playlist, and already means of content to watch as well. We're spoiled for choice, but the paradox of choice. You know that theory, right?
Yeah, basically you've got so much that you end up choosing none.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Netflix.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I still choose one.
Well,
so the gaming crash, like Nintendo, I don't think Nintendo will go back up anytime soon for at least 5 years, because depending on how the world might actually just end in like 10 years or anyway. But it just means like when you have one game that sells badly, then it costs a lot. But I said games are a bit cheap to make and big budget. And Nintendo, because of the fact that they're actually graphically behind every game, the games are probably cheaper to make. But it depends if you want to be AAA games. AAA games are risk. So that's why they have to be safe to sell. Like how Uncharted and The Last of Us, like that's why they make 4 games of Uncharted. Like Tomb Raider reboot, the first reboot actually lost money when it was first made because it was an expensive game. It sold 5 million, but still lost money because they wanted to sell 6 million or something.
Which you mean reboot? You mean the film, or you talk about the game of 2000? You mean okay, then
was made. But the one is like the second one was Rise of Tomb Raider. Then the third one is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The first one is called Tomb Raider.
Which means fail on Shadow. The critic would love it. The critic, they loved the game of Shadow, but the sale was poorly.
It was actually the highest selling Tomb Raider game at the time, but they spent a lot of money to make the game, so it didn't actually break even until they did the HD remastered. They started making profit, but the first release, it actually failed profit wise. But at 5 million, it's nothing to snap at. Like it was the highest selling Tomb Raider game at the time, but Square Enix has the thing. Same as with Sleeping Dogs, it sold like 2 million, but they lost a lot of money because Sleeping Dogs cost a lot to make.
Isn't that because it was originally called True Crime Hong Kong, but they canceled the game until they Square Enix to help them to make the game instead of True Crime.
Well, actually, that's actually interesting development. You should watch the channel What Happened with Sleeping Dogs. But originally they were trying to make their own game, but then GTA 4 came out, so Activision panicked and tried to force them to change the game. They compromised that would be a True Crime of LA game, but then Activision pulled out of that. One of the reasons why I'm glad that Microsoft is buying Activision. They're kind of evil, Activision. But and Square Enix ended up being the sponsor the game, but they were expecting a lot more to be sold, but it was unrealistic because it was original IP. Original IPs don't sell well unless they have extensive marketing, and then you have to make 1 or 2 games to do that. And yes, this history of Sleeping Dogs is kind of tragic because that game deserved to sell more, but I bet you about it. My friend had to tell me about it. By the time I actually bought the game, I bought it on sale for $30. So I'm not sure how much I contribute to that. But games. So just why I was worried about the gaming crash, example, Sleeping Dogs. As I said, a good game, but it just didn't sell so well because it was expensive. Well, 1 million copies or 2 million copies would be a good number for it was a low budget game. But low budget gaming is actually working well. It's just like worry it's selling too many of them at the same time. I said, Haze, I played 1 year late, but it sold 1 million copies. But that's less than the AAA game. But I said 1 million is a lot for the profit they were going for. So I just want to say gaming crash from Nintendo will be fine, but just worry about, just keeping up with every game as well and collection. But I think digital is the future. That's why Microsoft is still Game Pass, because people realize that people run out of space. In fact, I don't know about Maria. I know Adrian would definitely have. Like I saw he has a lot of VHS and DVDs. I remember seeing his place like he has so many DVDs in his place.
Or video.
Yeah, VCRs, yeah.
I said VHS. VHS is video.
VHS.
Oh, that could, you know what? The digital versus physical can be a whole topic on its own, because maybe it's just because I don't buy that many games, but I just need to get a physical copy and have something in his hand. That's why I like, as much as I do like, if I can, I'll stream a movie, if I can get a Blu-ray, like a physical copy of Blu-ray, but only because that's kind of one of the only ways you can get the additional features. I don't know if that's the same with games. Sometimes, yes, maybe they do like the unloadable features.
It's a mixture thing, but the problem I said, like, I need to sell some of my games actually. Sounds like, because I bought a HD remaster of that as well. But I said, like, a lot the games are taking a lot of space as well. So digital is like, I buy physical copy if I really like the game a lot and I want to keep it for future generations. But for games like a multiplayer game, I'll just digital. So I have to change cartridge all the time. But yeah, that's why I like Nintendo games like Mario Kart and stuff. I just do digital because then I don't have to swap games when I'm playing with friends.
Yeah. So sometimes it's a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
And it saves physical space as well. So
yeah, because I also got a 500 gigabyte SD card, may as well use it.
Yeah.
And it's talking about physical space. I mean, yeah, because every game takes a couple gigabytes now. But I said back then with PlayStation 3, like 40 gigabyte Blu-ray disc, 50 gigabyte. Although Metal Gear Solid 4 actually took one of the few games actually took 50 gigabytes, but the average game took 30 gigabytes. And they're still the same now, so most games, but some games take up to 100 gigabytes. Like Final Fantasy 7 Remake, that was 100 gigabytes.
What? Final Fantasy 7 Remake?
Yeah, it's the first part 1, and that was only part 1, and that took 100 gigabytes.
Oh, holy moly, that's a lot.
Yes, because they did the thing where they said NPCs, they had all NPCs be original models instead of recycling the same animation. That alone would take a lot of space alone.
Oh wow! And speaking of Final Fantasy 7, have you seen the movie, the Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children? Have you seen it? What do you think about that movie?
It's good for what it is, but one, you need to play the game to even get context of what's going on. And two, like, it was more of an action thing that made reference to what happened in the past. Not to mention and Frey, the fight scene between Cloud and Sephiroth is good, but I said, story-wise, you don't really feel much of anything like from the game. Like, it's all fan service. Like,
the problem in the Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children, too much fast editing, a lot. So
no, you're just too slow, Andrew.
Huh? It's
See?
not too slow. It's not too slow.
No, you did the Homer Simpson thing. What did he just say? Something not good. Don't yell at Homer. No. He said you were slow. How dare you call me slow? I just like that scene from The Simpsons.
All right, let's go back to...
That scene was decent enough. Like I said, you pay attention, you can see what's going on. The example of bad fast editing would be the Mortal Kombat movie or the last Resident Evil, the last chapter. That was where fast editing was like, what the heck? Like, it just cuts to there. But Prophet said, like, it's just so fighting too fast. Like, but you can see it in one eye. Like, they're just moving so fast, so you can see what's going on. It's like Dragon Ball Z, saying that Dragon Ball Z has fast editing because characters are just moving fast, not because the editing does that way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I saw what was going on in the fight scene because it just feels like the characters were moving fast. Fast editing is more like we just cut from one scene to another so quickly you don't even have a chance to see what happened.
Yeah, for sure. It's not gonna be. Yeah, it's just Hollywood like to do fast editing. They don't give a damn. They just want money.
I don't think Advent Children was made just for money because it was not that big selling.
That's Japanese. That's Japanese because Japanese like promoting.
You just think everyone wants to make money. You say you do everything for charity, Andrew. Like, you become a film. I don't want to make money at all.
Excuse me. There's Hollywood just being Hollywood.
Okay,
Japanese.
Japanese is not Hollywood. You do know the difference between Hollywood and
wrong,
Japanese filmmaking, right?
Wrong, Mr. Nintendo Man. It's the Japanese that create their own story original. Hollywood just ran out just being Hollywood. They just like to do just making money and like making fast editing, just like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, you really use Final Fantasy Adventure as an example of money grabbing. I mean, yes, it was made during the anniversary of Final Fantasy fans. It's fan service, but what if they want to make money? They wouldn't spend so much money making to animate the scenes. So crash grab and trying to make money are two different things. A crash grab is when you do put very lazy effort to make money. This one was clearly made with effort because the scenes were advanced for its time. Not to mention, it just came from Final Fantasy spirits within a thing that lost them a lot of money. Because it does tend to be artistic desire to do what they want. Okay,
it does not, because it does not compare of the video game. This one's make it more like sci-fi style, just like Alien and other sci-fi one in the 80s and 90s.
Okay, right. This is why you're just making things up now, or you're just copying what fan people say on the internet, aren't you, Andrew? Yeah, I feel like you're coming like that, Andrew, sometimes. Oh, just be critical. They just want to make money and crash grab. Like, you say that for anything you don't like. Like, I can say that for like Nintendo games that you do like. Breath of the Wild's a crash grab. They clearly just did to make money because you want to copy Grand Theft Auto because open world.
No.
You see that for everything in the crash grab argument. It's just so generic, Andrew. Like, you lose all meaning. It's like it's comparing everything to Nazis.
It's American Hollywood. They're running out. Japan is just, it's pure original.
Adventure was made by Japanese people.
Yes.
I say that it's Hollywood crash grab.
It's not Hollywood. That's just Final Fantasy VII Adventure. It's pretty good, but it's too much editing.
You were talking about how it was a crash grab by Hollywood. Right, Therese, he was saying that, right? That FF7 made by Japanese people was a Hollywood cash grab. He did say that, right?
He did say something about that. Well, say that again, Andrew.
I think he's going to retcon things now.
Yeah.
So,
okay. I think it's like Final Fantasy Adventure is not a cash grab. It's just a sequel. It's a pure original. It looked more fantasy game, but it's too much editing. It's too much like cutting.
Okay, so he doesn't think it's
okay, why don't we just test this with a quick YouTube check about the fight scene? Okay, that'll just be easier because sometimes I feel like we need to do let's see, FF7. Okay, F7 fight. Okay, adventure fight scene. Let's see. Okay.
What? The scene with the fighting with the
Therese, I think Therese should be a good
Okay, let me
yeah, sorry.
The lag doesn't help.
What? Can't see it?
No, we can. I can.
Yeah, I can't see it. Yeah, it's too much like shaky. A bit of shake. Yeah, it's a bit of shaky and too much. Yeah, there's a bit a lot. Yeah, see, yeah, but we can tell. Yeah, too much staffing, too much editing. Yeah, see that? There's too much staffing, and I can't see that thing. You couldn't see it.
It's hard to tell because the streaming doesn't really do the same a lot of justice, to be quite fair. But
we can tell
because there's a bit of camera movement. But then I can still see what's going on. For those watching with us, if you've seen the scene, let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I would actually be very interested to know.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll just see.
I mean, problem is there was a bit of lag, so it's hard to tell. But this is not Hollywood. So I mean, we could talk about Hollywood in another topic because we can talk for ages about that. So we'll bring it back to well, I guess Nintendo and gaming.
Yes.
So we'll ratchet it back. So yeah, it's pretty exciting that they're making all these announcements, and so I guess it means that for now, gaming units and gaming consoles are gonna do okay, and indie is getting independent gamers. I think it's a good time for them because I think it's a good time for anyone to get maybe even social media helps with that as well for collaboration and stuff like that. Because I've seen them like Hades. I heard a lot of good things about Hades actually. And
for me, because I got addicted to it.
Maybe. I think you and a couple of other friends actually, where I heard like, oh, okay, this sounds interesting. It's based on Greek mythology, which is something that I actually was interested since I was a little kid. So yeah, hopefully, So so I guess it's just good that despite the fact that Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation, all that have a monopoly, there's still a place for the little guy to make something fun, especially like stream. So they have a platform. I think that's important that they have a place to actually showcase their stuff for not as much money as you might think. And I guess I feel that way because it's the same for filmmaking, because independent filmmaking is very similar in that sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, did you ever have your ideal game you ever want to make back when you were a kid?
Oh, I don't know about the kid, but there was a game called Kung Fu Superstar. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
No, never heard that.
It's a game where this is back when they tried to have something, I guess, there is a word for it, but the closest thing I think is like, motion capture, where when the person is physically standing, the game, the camera eye, I have PlayStation Eye or Nintendo Eye or something like that. So just imagine that, but it will capture your whole body, and when you punch in that, it actually reads, and you can actually move your sprite or character on the screen. So it was a way for them, and they also incorporated stuff like different styles like Wing Chun and Aikido, or centered on a character that wants to learn Kung Fu and be in movies. So it looked good. The game people actually made I think a Kickstarter for this, but unfortunately they didn't make it. Like they didn't make enough money as it was happening. So they tried to do something back in 2013, and there hasn't been anything since. So if I was gonna do anything, I would love to have something like that possible, because I think it was just not good timing back in the day, because back then that technology for what they wanted wasn't quite there yet. Maybe now would be a better time if anyone's interested. And with I guess to segue, with the recent release of Sifwar, which is a game that came out, I think is released on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I'm kind of hoping they'll bring back the people that want to do the Kung Fu games again. Mm-hmm. So yeah. That's kind of what my opinion. Let's see. I'm just like all that, all that sort of stuff. But with that said, the last game that I played really was actually a PC game. I think it was probably like Doom 3. So I'm being very, very old school in that regard. I don't know if you guys remember that game.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made Doom remake, right? The new Doom game is actually a remake of the first one, and the second internal is a remake of Doom 2.
Oh, there was a Doom 3. I don't know if you guys. Yeah.
It was on PC.
Yeah, that's right.
I know that because I actually have on my Switch. I bought it for $2.
Wow, what's that?
It's 90% off. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a sale.
I haven't even started yet, but yeah, I know. As I said, it was actually popular in its day, and yeah, it came around the same time the Doom movie came out, around the same time.
Does anybody even remember that movie? Oh God, that was a movie.
What movie?
Doom.
What movie?
The movie.
The with the Rock.
Oh, with the Rock.
Oh God. I told you Hollywood. So
that's an example of a crash grab, okay? The Doom movie, because if like, but yeah, yeah. They didn't look the Rock himself did try, but clearly they were just trying to adapt for the movie without thinking about how to make it into a movie.
That happens.
Video game movie. They're trying to back in the past they didn't do right. The one thing that did the right thing is Prince of Persia Time, which was that Warcraft? Was that Warcraft?
World of Warcraft?
No, Warcraft. It's called Warcraft, and Pokemon Detective Pokemon and Sonic. They do the right thing.
I need to actually watch those. Then Detective Pikachu and what was it? Was it Sonic? Man. Well, I guess we'll see what happens with the sequel.
Well, here's one game that you would like. I did Sleeping Dogs 2, but you play as a female character and it's voiced by Maria.
That'd be fun. We'll make that happen. I mean, you never know. They might want to bring back, make a sequel to that. We'll see. We'll see. I need to finish it first.
I mean, there's a lot of GTA games. The female is really, or Whoopi Girls, the female is really the protagonist, unless you count Saints Row, where you choose your gender, and well, the character doesn't really matter the gender is anyway, because they just act, yeah. But yeah, you really see the female gang lord taking over. I might be wrong. Maybe for one of the Far Cry games might be different. I don't know, but yeah, most open world games really have the female martial artists there. So yeah. That's Buffy the Vampire Slayer count. There's one Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, but no. Like instead of superhero video games, there's Batman stuff, but was one with a female character. Oh, close was you play as Catwoman in one section, which was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Catwoman's interesting. Yeah. All right. So do you guys play any Steam games, or what do you think of Steam? Or do you have a Steam account, or it's like, nah, let's just go for physical?
Yeah, I did play Steam, but I lost my account, and I never played all the Steam game.
Okay.
I'll show you my Steam collection if you want on my screen.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So yeah. I actually haven't played a fair amount of it. Axe Kids, the first game I ever played.
Oh yeah, that game. I played that. But the first time play is on the Sega Master. I played Sega Master System.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah. It is Batman Arkham Origins, because I never played this one. I played Batman and Batman 2. I didn't need to play the other Batman game, the third one, because yeah, this is the origin one. Beyond Good and Evil, I did it. One of the games that didn't sell well, but someone supported. Blaze Blue.
I like that game on Nintendo Switch.
Yep. And this is a Bloodstain. It's a kind of a Metroid style game, so I was gonna give that a shot.
That looks like Castlevania.
Yep. It looks like that as well. Castlevania is also similar to Metroid in that way. But yeah, Brutal Legend. This is the Psychonauts creator. It has Jack Black in the voice acting in it. So pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's the Castlevania Game Boy Advance collection. And Chrono Trigger, which I plan to play. Yes. I have it installed.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep. This one has the anime cutscenes from the PlayStation version, plus the extra dungeon from the DS version. So I'm planning to play that. Control got really good reviews. I'm going to give that a shot. Wow,
yeah.
Nice. And this is a really dark game, but it's a good thing. Daymare, it was actually a fan-made game from a Resident Evil 2 fan game, but it made their own thing called Daymare instead.
Okay.
Chaos X 1, 2,
yes.
3.
Oh yes.
And I don't know what this one is. And then 4, and it's the fan-made remake of the first one. I got this game for free by some thing. Disney Aladdin's The Lion King. I plan to play that eventually.
Nice.
Dragon Ball Z Fighters, and I 100 hours on this game.
Yes, I like that. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm using Master Roshi, Kefla, and that right now. Dragon Quest 11, haven't started that yet because I found it was a special edition. Evil Within 1 and 2, made by the Resident Evil guy. This one I got this for free because my friend told me this. A Fatal Frame. You have this game, Project Zero.
Is that the taking photo game where?
Well, yes. Take photos. So Andrew, that'll be your thing because you're a photographer. Andrew as well. But yeah, it's a dark storyline because the first one game is about the ghost that started all this because someone was trying to use her as a sacrifice. But they had to make her suicidal for the sacrifice to work, but she still wants to live, so the ritual failed. It's a dark game, the first one, and this is the 5th game in the series. I didn't play any other, so this is my first one. But reading about it, it's so dark, and the bad ending is usually the canon ending. There's multiple endings. So they're like the worst. It's not always the worst ending, but it's never the best ending. That's the good canon one. Except for the third game, maybe. But yeah, Final Fantasy 6. I want to play that. I need to finish that. Final Fantasy 8.
Yes.
Remastered.
Good
Final
game.
Fantasy 9.
I have not played.
Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 10.
Oh.
The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. These 2 games I got for free. Hades, which I told you I played a little too much of that. I got this for free, but I actually played this on Xbox 360 Injustice. Jade Empire was an interesting game, but I played on Xbox 360. The PC version is not that great in terms of control of thing, but yeah, Jade Empire was the first Asian BioWare game. It had a bit of stereotypes, but otherwise it was a good game. The problem was to say one person was actual Asian voice and Asian character, but otherwise the whole was actually pretty good.
So they play white people to play Asian.
Voice acting wise.
Okay.
Because yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe because there weren't many Asian voice actors, they couldn't find any that they liked. I don't know. But the reason why though this game was interesting because it had this new BioWare games had multiple endings. So it had to things like how Star Wars, the BioWare versus Dark Side, Light Side, obviously. Mass Effect's the Renegade Paragon. This one had to open palm and closed fist philosophy. The closed fist was like everyone's for the survival of the fittest, and open palm is to help everyone. The problem is the closed fist was clearly the bad one. There was some cases where it's not gray, like Mass Effect, but this one was like too black and white in the end of what happened. Me, I was planning to learn Japanese into RPG battle. I might do this eventually. Yeah, I bought it for $1, so I don't regret too much.
Okay.
You remember Soul Reaper, Legacy of Kain?
Oh, I think I do.
This one I got for free, but I might try it anyway.
Okay.
Mass Effect 4.
This was the glitchy. This was a terrible glitchy one.
Yeah, but actually they patched it up that it was actually playable. And this is the Legendary Edition I bought. I finished it 119 hours, 115 achievements. And yeah, Metal Gear Solid with Raiden Revengeance. I haven't played that yet. Need to do that. Persona 4 Golden. Haven't touched that, but I really want to play that. Ace Attorney, Portal 1 and Portal 2.
My favorite. Portal 2, my favorite.
This one is got for free. Got for free as well. Resident Evil. I bought the whole Resident Evil series, so 0, 2, 3 remake. I 100% this in the hardest mode as well. 32 achievements. Resident Evil 4 doesn't work on my PC, so I couldn't do that. I was trying to do a marathon streams. I got up to Resident Evil 5 before number 8 came out, so I failed that. 6, I haven't played it yet. 7, I finished it on that. And yeah, I played the multiplayer game for a bit, 21 hours. I gave it a chance. I finished Revelations 1. That was decent. This is the multiplayer game that hasn't come out yet. And number 8 was Delays 1. Yep, 40 hours, 78 hours. What did I do in my life?
The evil lady with evil lady with big boobs. That's the one to see.
Yeah, that's why most people actually saw the trailer. So Rise of the Tomb is the reboot series I talked about. I think it eventually broke even, but yeah, Saints Row the third, which is I need to play that. Yeah, In the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Sleeping Dogs. I plan to stream that one day. Therese, would you ever enjoy on my stream because you love this game?
I would love to. Let me know, and then I can have one.
Try to look how it works, but yeah. And Soul Calibur 6.
Oh, it's up to 6 now. Wow. Nice.
Well, when you think about it, it came out like over 20 years ago.
I know.
It's actually late because number 5 sold so badly that it got cancelled for a while. So 6 is actually a reboot.
Oh,
you know how? It's a time travel thing. Someone goes back in time and Soul Calibur 1.
Oh, I see.
So that's why it's a reboot again. So yeah, this is the BioWare Star Wars game I talked about. Really good. And yeah, Street Fighter Anniversary Collection has 1, 2, 3, Street Fighter 5, and 306 hours I spent on this for years. I got Super Platinum.
Wow, okay.
Yep. Tales of Bestiaria, which is good. Tales of Symphonia, one of the best games ever. And this was a Nintendo game as well. GameCube is relevant. So this is one of the best RPGs for the GameCube, next to Paper Mario. Tekken 7. So yeah, this game I haven't played it, but I've read things about it decent. So yeah, the original Tomb Raider reboot, which I was
My
talking
favorite.
about,
My favorite.
the one that didn't sell so well at first, but eventually did. I know what this game is. Got this for free. Undertale. You heard of this? The game that's
Is that the guy with, I don't know what the guy name, he Boo?
It's a retro RPG game that
Yeah.
And War Group, it's like advanced turn-based strategy. It's fun. I played 4 hours so far. Worms, does anyone remember this game? I'm playing the
yes.
I actually do.
Yeah, this is fun as well. Year 7, this is another good RPG. Oh, this is one like you really got the non-nori games. It's 9 doors, 9 person, 9 hours. So 9 people who might know each other or may not have to go through 9 hours to go through 9 separate doors to try to escape. And it's like, well, okay, what's the Saw or kind of puzzle game where you have to escape? Except for you have to hurt yourself. You have to solve riddles of why you're here to do this. And there's good and bad endings. And this game is actually a graphic novel, more of a novel, because the ending is like an hour long. The first 2 games, and then so I finished the first 2, and the second game sold badly that the third game got delayed, but it eventually did come out. This is the conclusion to the entire storyline.
Nice.
So that's why I'm just hoping to see what happens. But yeah, it deals with a lot of interesting things about like people are connected that way and how information is passed on. In fact, I might stream this one day as well.
Jimmy, are you gonna get the Guilty Gear?
What?
Guilty Gear.
Not yet, because I said Blaze Blue is made by the same people, and I feel like Blaze Blue is a complicated story enough as it is. One idea I have we want to do. Do you guys want to do a bridge series? What any series you have? We do a bridge together. You can be the voices of it.
Okay.
Well, Therese would have to do all the editing. Well, actually, I can do some editing, but Therese will be the master of editing. But why don't we just write a script with something we enjoy? So Therese will do the editing because she's the one that knows how the most. Or maybe you can teach me, Therese, and I'm going to try to learn, I guess. But if you want to do a bridge series, what do you want to do then? If you do all the work, we do the voices.
A bridge series. Would this have to be like animated series?
It can be anything you want because you're doing the editing, so therefore you're the one that has to do the lip syncing editing, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Unless you want to do that, or you want to do how it should have ended, where we just do the weird bad voice is obvious, the mouth is obvious, but it makes it easier for us. And
that would fun. That would fun. Yeah, that would be more fun. So if there's anything
you want to do personally, Therese?
How we should have ended?
Yeah, like a bridge series, like series you want to do personally. So it'll be fun for you if you do the editing.
Oh, okay.
Your passion project.
Yeah. I don't know anything at the moment, but I'll let you guys know.
Well, that's Simpsons a bridge.
Okay.
Just do Simpsons quotes and try
try and see. Okay. Yeah. We can. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. See if you can get some clips, do some voice acting, and can put them together. That would be fun. Or South Park.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
All that too.
South Park. The parody. We're parodying a parody.
Parody. Yes, because that always works.
Okay. We can try to make it canon. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. Weirder things have happened, to be honest.
It's going to be fun for you to do because like I know editing's hard work, so I'm going to do it if you have fun doing it, Therese. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 2 minutes now, so let's end this series.
Okay, cool. So I guess that's pretty much it. Any last thoughts on Nintendo?
Yes, I'm happy, excited for this year, and Breath of the Wild 2 will probably not come out this year at this point, the way it's going. But hey, we have a lot of fun. And the Switch will probably last another 2 years and might actually outsell PlayStation 4, I guess, or what a console after what? PlayStation. We won't outsell PlayStation 2, but we'll do well.
Nintendo, I think Nintendo Switch in the future, they're gonna beat all the PlayStation and Xbox because I'm very happy, and I'm very happy announced for the Nintendo directly. They did it, and I'm very happy.
Okay, well, I guess that's pretty much it. Let us know what your thoughts are on game consoles. Nintendo have been keeping up with the latest on Nintendo Direct. Let us know what your thoughts are. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we do like hearing your thoughts. Let us know if you've got an idea for what you want us to talk about on our next podcast. And I guess we'll see you guys later. So thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
All right then.
See ya.
See ya.